Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles. I'm delighted to be joined virtually, as much as I just want to give them a big hug and be with them in person, with Hefner and Onry, with their one of the best music videos I've ever seen that I cry to every single time, Livin in the Light. For those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at the clip. I'm just happy to be with you both. Can we do this all the time? Because you both are so awesome.
Certainly.
Thank you so much.
We've been chatting before, so I just can't wait to talk about this video. Listen, this video was just powerful in so many ways, in the context of the story, your voice, the direction. Tell us a little bit about the story and where the inspiration came from.
Well, I think the song initially was created in the woods on the Columbia River. And this song just kind of came to me during a really trying time in my life of having to really see myself for the first time and having to push past being in one of the whitest cities in America and choosing to live in one's own light, my light, and the truth of myself, and choosing to deny living in the truth of others, and the power of just simply pushing past the voice of others and simply living in my own light. A little backstory: I'm from Portland, Oregon, and growing up here and having a classical background, I constantly felt like I had to sound or be and show up in the world a specific way on the West Side, and then also show up in my Black true self on the East Side. And there was such a challenge in that and discomfort in that. And after creating this film, I really kind of gave voice to showing up as my own true voice, my own self. And this is the first song and film on the music project that I'm putting out, which will come along with many others in the future. But I came with this project with a kind of that vision of it being in the outdoors. And Hannah totally went with it and said, how about we show up in this way? And gave all these ideas. And I started shaking because Hannah said, I think it should be just you in this film. I think it should be you in these specific locations. And I sat in that discomfort and I was like, no, that's so not me. I can't do this. And then probably halfway into the meeting with the whole team, I said, oh, this is the guiding force. I have to show up in this way. Like this fear is a guiding force to kind of break through the thing and break through authenticity. And Hannah totally captured that. And it was really, really powerful.
Wow. Oh my God. I love that you took yourself, Onry, out your own comfort zone with Hannah's vision to say, because honestly, it just needed you. You're so right. It really did. Hannah, your vision was fantastic. I'm so glad that you found each other. How did you find each other? And did you kind of, I mean, what did you kind of learn in the experience as well of like, I mean, you had quite a job directing this film as well, of all these locations, and I was fascinated.
Thank you. Yeah, so we had met like not too long before we started the film, and we had just started talking, and a lot in the context of just what the film meant. Like I was really intrigued by Onry's like process that he was going through, like his thought process, making this film into almost a healing journey for yourself. And I just thought it was so beautiful, and I felt really moved to just want to help. So we really like became good friends, like in the context of this film, working it out, a really personal context too. Like, you know, it's such an exposing film. Like we're really getting to see like Onry see himself, maybe for the first time. So really an intimate process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Onry, I think, like, just in relation to what you were saying earlier as well, like, I'm so glad that, you know, you decide to take something so personal to you and put it out there to the world, because I honestly think your voice and the vision of the film is healing and enlightening and educational and authentic, and it really was unbelievable to just watch you, because you just gave everything. I could feel your soul through your voice and through your actions and your and what was captured. Did it feel like a release, even doing it, even with both the song and also what you did in the film as well?
Absolutely. There was one specific moment that I captured and sat in, but for the most of it, very similar to Barry Jenkins, the creator of Moonlight. He said that he enjoys working with his friends. His friends know his downfalls. His friends know his strengths. His friends know how to, like, capture a thing and how to really take a hold and push forward the vision. And so I really chose a lot of my really gifted friends to work with on this project. And when we say gifted friends, what does that mean? There's some of them tour with Radiohead. Some of them have many films under their own, and they're just, like, really flourishing. They have awards all over, and bringing together that quality of individuals and saying, hey, I have an idea. I have a voice. I have a song. I have an idea. I don't have the film degree. I don't have this. But what I do have is consistency, passion, and desire to really push forward and elevate both, not like African-American voices, male voices, BIPOC voices, you name it, non-binary, queer, unmarginalized communities. Like, we have to bring forth that story, because it's so important to just bring light to the thing.
Yeah.
And so during this process, one of my favorite scenes in this film was directed by Hannah, and Hannah was talking me through the whole process. And that was the end, where you're looking at me and you're kind of like, she wanted me to be on camera for a very long moment, sitting very uncomfortably, and then kind of allowing for the audience to see me for the first time. And then Hannah said, okay, we need you to go deep in this portion. And I said, okay, how deep? She said, as deep as you can go. And so I went back to my 10-year-old self, seeing my father for the first time in his casket, who I had never had met, and saying farewell to him, and also saying farewell to that narrative, and saying, this moment right here is the rebirth. And so there's moments, second by second, kind of processing that. And Hannah said, directs to me, and now you see the light. And in my mind, as an actor, I was forced to shut this chapter and reopen a new chapter in my life, to both film, to manifestation, to healing, to growth, and kind of wash away this past of maybe being rejected, maybe being denied, being all of these things, and really being forced as an individual to bring my truth to you at that very, very moment on film. And Hannah did a fantastic job with that. And as the cameras turned off right after the song ended, the team came, and I wept like a baby. They held me up, and we had like a shaman on board. We had people they all came and gathered around me, and I just wept through that process and experienced so much healing and relief. So the film really catapulted me as an artist and executive film director as well, and saying, this is how I want to show up on film, but also this is my process. Can you guys hold me? Can you hold me up? So
Onry, I'm so wow, what a journey, and I'm wow, like you just said, you want to work with your friends and people that you trust and trust in the process as well.
Yeah.
Engage in that, I'm so glad. What you delivered on camera as well as your voice. And thank you so much for being so vulnerable, because with your own journey, I think you are healing. I mean, everyone that I've known, seen it, have felt healed and enlightened by this video. And I'm not even joking. Like, I think Kleenex should be your sponsor, to be honest. Respectfully, like, it's literally a voice in a video I want to watch on my darkest day, and also on a day where I want to feel enlightened and healing. But also, not only that, for your experience and what you're portraying, particularly what has been going on in this country for so very long, and your own experiences. Like, it's such an important film to make for people to either relate to, or to understand better and be better and do better. And for anyone that is fighting any sort of freedom, I just commend you on making this story. Hannah, your vision, honestly, and what Onry has explained is unreal. Like, honestly, like, I just love that you took him to those moments and those places, because it really showed up on film. What was that experience like for you, Hannah? Like, engaging with, Onry's given so much of everything, and telling that story. What was that experience like for you working together?
Oh, I was just about to die the whole time. I was like completely melting. Like, I was really happy that we didn't need audio from the film sites, because I was just like crying and like, oh my God, like, yes, like, I just couldn't handle it. Like, the whole process. And because we knew it was like part of a healing journey, we had discussed a lot, like, what it would actually take for Onry to get to that moment of like seeing himself in the light. So
Yeah.
In these different landscapes that we chose, I wanted each one to represent a memory that Onry was processing. And we actually went through and visualized those memories on site for each different landscape, thinking through something different, like something hard, because that was like a real process that just needed to happen anyway, that the song represented that process of healing, but maybe it hadn't completed itself like within Onry yet. So it was like work still needed to be done. So we were like, okay, we're doing everything now. We're out here filming, we're feeling, and we're doing it together, like in a way where we can support and hold each other, like with a good team of friends.
Yeah.
And to remind you, this is also in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
This is in the middle of a race war that's happening around the country. It's breaking out. This is in the middle of every African-American male and female and not binary feeling this discomfort and fear. Fear to get in one's car. I remember laying in bed, afraid to leave the house, because I lived downtown where protests were happening. And I was afraid and crippled to leave the house for 3 days.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where I said, okay, I have to get up and do the thing now. It's time to get up and create. It's time to get up and lead. And from that moment, it was just a spark of energy and the universe just being like, okay, now it's time to go. And shortly days after that, a video went viral. We ended up on BBC News and NPR and all over. And there was a moment where we really had to just sit in and come together as a group during meditation, sound bowl meditation. We have many practices as a team to really get one another on one accord to push forward the vision and push forward the voice. And this project was made out of love.
Yeah,
and
not a typical film set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but and fully deserved, and just the way, the places that obviously, you and Hannah work together to go to as well. Like, I just, I really think it just, you running through just running through, just like, let me live and be my authentic, beautiful self, you know? And it was so wonderful just to see that. And I just thought, you know, especially for the African-American male, like, you just lifted the beautiful spirits of everyone for your voice and your work. And I'm just so grateful you made that video, because I mean a lot to a lot of different people. So I'm just commend you on that, because, you know, you led the way and decided to be a leader, and that's what you do. So just love you both, just full of love here. Got tears in my eyes, just like I was when I was watching it. It's beautiful. Like I'm so glad you found each other, and I honestly will, I'm at the point where I'll tell anyone to watch your video, because I want everyone to experience it and see it and understand it and visualize it. But
there's definitely more to come too.
Yeah. What is next? What is next? Onry
so
told me there's
more.
apparently something better coming than that, and I don't believe you, because everyone's popped that. But okay, I'll believe you.
There's a film called 1955, and I created a song for it. It's very similar to Livin in the Light, kind of in this music video context, but shares the story of 1955 merging with 2021. Ooh. And this is time lapse that happens both culturally. And I got this song idea as I was watching the film Je t'aime, ma mère, which is I Killed My Mother. It's very, very French film. And I realized the way that they were conversing in the film felt like fire on one's skin. And I was trying to figure out why I was just like, I could not look away from the screen. And all of a sudden this melody came to mind. And then this melody comes to mind, and I ran over to the piano, and something just kind of resonated with me. And then I came up with this song and handed it over to our colorist who was a colorist from Livin in the Light. And it resonated with him. And so he said, I'm going to direct this next film. Oh. And so it's 1955, talks about there being fire on one's skin and the way that we converse, and everyone is talking at one another during this time, but not necessarily listening. Mm-hmm. And so what that process is, and how we're all trying our best to be present, heal through, but also listen to one another, and go through that process on film as we experience time, race, all the deep questions. And the song itself makes your hair stand up on your skin. And we have gospel choirs, big timpani, big orchestra, you name it, it's in there. And then also my first debut dancing on screen.
Oh,
and
wow.
So I have a choreographer there. We have a double that's also there for me. And it's really going to be a brilliant piece. So I look forward to sharing it with you guys.
I can't wait. I'm already invested.
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And then the whole album that we're creating actually is going to be visual as well. So we're going to have to do a lot of fundraising for it, but
yes, let's bring that money in. That's fantastic. Yes. And you two are collaborating again on this or other projects in the future?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, in the future, definitely. I'm not sure if we are on this project yet, but mm-hmm. In the future.
Not for 1955. No, we have a crew for that, but yes, we have more. Hannah is definitely involved.
Excellent. What's coming up next for you, Hannah?
So for me, I'm working on a new film called Cream Demon, and it is
yes.
yeah, it's a different mood for sure, but it has the same kind of self-discovery and queerness, definitely. And it's an artist that's actually a whipped cream artist who is encountering a frightening muse in her process of self-discovery.
I love it. I'm in it. I'll have my whipped cream at the same time watching it.
Yep.
The
Required.
squirty stuff, you know. Anyways, no,
Mhm.
this is great. And listen, this has been really engaging. And thank you both so much for bringing your film to us, your vision to us. It's been a joy. I just want to finish on, because we have a filmmaking audience, we have a creative audience. I'd love to ask you both to finalize, like, what kind of piece of advice as an artist could you possibly share to our audience that you go by or is important to you in your everyday creative lives?
Hannah, you go first.
Yeah. I think whatever is conjuring like the emotion and the passion for you, move toward that. That's been my guiding force.
I like that a lot. That's great. Thank you for sharing. And finally, for you, Onry?
Success does not depend on one's IQ. It doesn't depend on what degree that you have. It doesn't depend on your successes in life. It depends on your passion, your inspiration, the fire that's within, and this navigating force that you wake up with and you can't deal without, and you can't live without. If you wake up and you dream about that thing, you go to sleep about it, you wake up, and it is the most fearful thing. That is the guiding force. It's the guide. And it's not easy, but it's worth it. And so I've decided to stay in film to stay in music and the arts and the creative industry for my entire life. And financially, I may have not had much to show for, but I've experienced healing in so many different ways. I've experienced putting beauty into the world and inserting healing into the world. And that in itself is priceless.
Oh, so true. Well, you know, this industry is better with you both. I'm so glad that you're both doing what you're doing and bringing your creative visions and art, you know, it's for many, many people to experience. And I think the wonderful thing that, you know, your film that you've made is that you never know who you're going to touch with this incredible film, people that you may never meet, that is going to change and enhance their lives. And that's definitely what I feel like you've done with this film, and can't wait to see both of your projects as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.